It's considered irresponsible within countercultures and marginalised groups to expose the identity of a member of that group, for fear that it'll disempower the group as a whole. Among gay people in particular, there's a big taboo about outing gay people that have chosen not to come out as gay. This is based on the understanding that some feel like they can't do so in a safe environment. The responsibility goes in the other direction, however, if a member of the group that's in the closet, so to speak, is using that security to threaten other disempowered people. In this case, the group has a duty to tell the outside world and expose whoever it is for what they really are and bring an end to their wrongdoing. Now that I've demonstrated my awareness of the political sensitivities surrounding what I'm about to say, I can tell you that Nigel Farage is Arab. You can be forgiven for believing Nigel when he says that his last name is Huguenot, except that even the most rudimentary internet search clearly shows that Farage is an Arabic name. There are two notable Farages listed on Wikipedia: Nigel Farage and Anthony Farage, a 20th century Greek Malkite archbishop born in Damascus. If you look up the name Farage spelt with a J, it comes up with a few more people, including Muhammad Abdul Salam Farage, who's described as an Egyptian radical Islamic theorist, and Ahmad Farage, a French footballer, although he could be Huguenot. Now, it's worth pointing out that I'm not particularly interested in Nigel Farage's physical appearance, and it actually makes me feel a bit uncomfortable making the case to an outside audience that anyone looks Arab. You know, I could get into some sort of eugenicist argument where I talk about the pigmentation of his skin, the dimensions of his facial features, and comment on his thick, once jet black head of hair. And to illustrate my point, it wouldn't be unreasonable of me to compare and contrast images of Nigel Farage alongside images of famous Middle Eastern public figures with lighter complexions. If the screen right now had Nigel Farage next to Jerry Seinfeld, and the King of Jordan, and Ralph Nader, you'd see that they all look quite similar. But why should I do that when this sort of ethnic categorisation is nothing but colonialist pseudoscience? There's probably some software I can use that scans his face and drafts a genealogical pie chart showing exactly where in the Middle East he's from. Except I find all that stuff creepy and depressing. What does interest me, however, is Nigel Farage's apparent awareness of his Middle Eastern appearance. He never allows his face to rest.
He's constantly making distorted expressions, snarling like a dog,
Pulling horrid, grinning faces, as though his face is running away from its own identity. Consciously or otherwise, not allowing his face to be witnessed in its true form is Nigel Farage's #1 public image priority. When Nigel Farage, who's always smoking, first came on the scene, we all thought he must have had a grandfather or whatever who was Arab and came to England and successfully managed to pose as a Huguenot, and now he's going on about Muslim immigration. But then he appeared for an interview on the news with the moustache that only Arab politicians being interviewed on the news have. This was no Huguenot moustache. The moustache incident changed everything. How Arab was he? Does his mother call him Habibi? Does a small part of him die when he's in front of people and he's forced to pronounce it hummus? Does he speak Arabic? Is the main attraction in his living room a big painting of the Dome of the Rock? The truth is that we'll never really know how Arab Nigel Farage is, because the media and the government want everyone to blame everything on immigrants. I was able to find 3 Palestinians with the last name Farage that have been killed by the Israelis since 2010. Fayez Ahmed Saeed Farage was shot dead in Al Khalil in 2010. Wissam Jamal Talib Farage was gunned down in the Shufat refugee camp in 2015. And most recently, Nigel Farage was martyred in an airstrike in Gaza on the 13th of November 2019. Although I'm sure they're all descended from Huguenots.